Hello everyone and happy Halloween. This is Andreas from Nordic Tarot. I'm bringing you a love reading for the month of November, and as the readings are general and trying to cover as many people as possible, there won't be a message for everyone. And I sincerely hope that there is a message for you, but kind of by design it's not possible for there to be one for everyone watching. And if you'd like more information about how to contact me for personal reading or what decks I use, you'll find all of that in the description box below. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your reading. Hey Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. This time your underlying energy is the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is a very stable energy. Now, the underlying energy is kind of this energy that's permeating throughout the entire reading, right? It kind of informs the other cards to a certain extent, kind of so like, what is this reading about? And I do think it is you, because for someone else to show up as a court card in your underlying energy, they would have to be very, very much integrated in what's going on with you and your energies, and they have to be very involved. So I do think you are the King of Pentacles, and as always, I want to say that even if you're a woman or someone with a lot of feminine energy, you can still show up as the King of Pentacles in general readings because they are trying to cover so many people, right? And the King of Pentacles is diligent, hardworking, he's incredibly grounded. So, you now might be feeling this like groundedness and stability within yourself. Kind of knowing where you have yourself, like this is where I am, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing. But in your problem circumstance, or at the heart of your reading, you have the Magician. And the Magician is a master manifester, right? He is incredible at manipulating energies and doing all these kind of things. And he is, like I said, one of the manifestation cards where you have so much power within yourself and you have all the tools to kind of make or get what you want. You can make that happen because you have all the tools and you can just do it yourself, Now, what he's crossed by, on the other hand, is the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is this card where you feel a bit battered and bruised. You might have been on this path for a very long time. And I always feel this is kind of the card where doubts might set in, where you might be like, oh, I haven't really seen a return on what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a very long time. Like kind of trying to remember, why did I start this path to begin with? And I have to say that there's no hint of this person giving up. There's no like they are definitely going to quit. But if you've been on this path for a very long time, you might not have seen any return on your efforts, and you're getting quite tired from what you're doing, or you're wondering where is the end. And this being the Nine of Wands, it also promises you that you are close to the end. It's going to happen. You're almost there. And you are still on that path. You are still walking that path and putting the effort in. It's just that you might be feeling quite tired at the moment because of it. So that makes sense to me, that if you are the Magician and you've been manifesting for a while, then if you're like getting tired, or you've been doing it for a very long time without maybe necessarily seeing a return, like I said, with the Nine of Wands there, because in your past you have the Nine of Cups, which is also a card of manifestation. This is wishing, right? This is someone who has reached the 9 cups. They are quite happy and content for a while, but they want the last cup, right? They want to take that one step further to finish the cup's journey. So from the past, like the past energy, you've been manifesting ever since then, and you're still like waiting for the return of that manifestation maybe. So again, the Magician here with the Nine of Wands crossing makes a whole lot of sense. Especially if we move on to the present energy of the Three of Wands, because the Three of Wands is also, it's also a card of manifestation, because this is you waiting to receive something that you are expecting. This is someone who has sent their ships out, and they, wait for the ships to go about their business and get whatever they have sent them out for, and now waiting for the ships to come back. So yes, there is this energy of like patience or waiting, or like they are going to come in. You know the ships are going to come back, and you can kind of expect what the result is, but you need them to come back to take the next step, to make a decision, to do something, to kind of further your journey, right? So I understand if this is like frustrating and like, oh, come on, I've been doing this for a very long time. Hey, what's going on? So just not to reiterate just a million times over, but the magician, manifester, Nine of Wands may be feeling frustrated or not seeing returns, but no hint of giving up. I think you've been manifesting since the past with the Nine of Cups, and then now you are there with the Three of Wands, waiting for that return, hoping for these things to come back, right, and bring you what you've been manifesting. But there's this like, alright, all I can do is wait, keep manifesting, just keep doing this stuff, and it's kind of about trusting that that will come in as well. And I think that makes complete sense. And in the future, the potential energy in the future is the Knight of Wands, which is a very Sagittarian energy. Like you're a fire sign, the Knight of Wands is one of the fire court cards, right? And it almost feels like a kind of a return to self to me, that you're returning to yourself, you're very much in your own energy, and maybe this is what you've been manifesting, that like currently you're making use of this King of Pentacles kind of grounded energy for the manifestation and like knowing what you want or who you are. And then that leads to like I said, this return to self in the future with the Knight of Wands there. And I mean, this Knight of Wands, it can even be that this is someone you meet. This is someone you, like maybe you're manifesting someone like some kind of relationship here, and the Knight of Wands is kind of what's coming in. Because the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands show up here, like they can be interchangeable. Maybe the cards are trying to show the same person twice, for example. Like the same could be said for the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. I'm not necessarily sure that's what they're doing in that case. But you know, the Knight of Wands is this fiery, passionate, fun energy where they just kind of come in, and stir things up, and it's all exciting and fun and new and passionate. You know, that's a very Wands, very fiery kind of energy. But in your crowning energy or your advice here, you do have the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is the Queen of the King of Pentacles, right? But like maybe that sounds really obvious, but for example, you being a fire sign, let's say you're a man, so you are the King of Pentacles, then your queen would be the Queen of Wands, naturally. So you feeling like the Queen of Pentacles, so you feeling like the King of Pentacles currently, or having that kind of energy, then the Queen of Pentacles might be someone around you. Maybe this is someone you're in a relationship, someone you see as being your queen at the moment. You know, but this Queen of Pentacles might just be an earth sign. This might be someone you can rely on. Maybe this is someone who's helping you. Is this someone you're thinking of specifically? That I know them and I love them and I want to be with them. But with them being in the crowning and in like with the advice card, this can be someone who can help you with whatever you're doing here with the manifestation. Can this be someone who's helping you, like I said, on that path? Is this someone you're interested in, that you want to be with? Because I do feel like this Queen of Pentacles is very important to... She's very important to you. And again, I'd like to say that, yes, she is the Queen of Pentacles, like I said earlier with the King of Pentacles, but even if you're a woman or someone with a lot of feminine energy, or like if you're a straight woman, for example, then the Queen of Pentacles wouldn't be a partner for you. But just like with the King of Pentacles, this queen might be the King of Pentacles. This Queen of Pentacles might be a man, but just, as I said, in these general readings, they kind of have to, you know, the cards kind of have to use what they have to show you who they are. So just to reiterate, if you're a woman, for example, if you're a straight woman, then the King of Pentacles in your underlying would be the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles in your crowning would be the King of Pentacles. So I just want to clear that up. I'm not sure if I explained it very well, but I think that does it. But like I said, I feel like this Queen of Pentacles in the crowning is someone who can be very supportive, or is very supportive. It's someone you can like count on them, or they're very stable and grounded in a very supportive way. And the queens are very supportive. Like the kings bring stability, but the queens bring support, right? But then in your feelings, and I think this makes sense, you do have the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands is a card that speaks of being overburdened, of just having too much on your plate, or feeling kind of dragged down by maybe too many commitments or too many responsibilities. But of course, it's also the continuation of the Nine of Wands, at which point you're already quite close to achieving like the end of this one's journey, but now in your feelings you're there again, but with the next card. And yes, it is very overwhelming, and it is burdensome. It can be very difficult sometimes, but again, this card does not hint at someone giving up. This guy is, let's say these wands are like firewood for his village or something, right? And he just needs to get this bundle of firewoods to his village before the sun sets, right? Like, he's not going to give up. He's going to be like, okay, this is really difficult, and I'm feeling overburdened and I have a lot to deal with, but I have to do this. And I feel like that's kind of where you are right now, where you do find it difficult and it is heavy and there's a lot of responsibilities or commitments or whatever is happening here, but you're still doing it. You're pushing on and you're willing to finish this, which is like commendable in itself, right? And like, if this was a work reading, then you could say that the Ten of Wands would be like, well, maybe you can delegate to someone else. Maybe you can give someone else part of the workload, have someone else do a bit of the work for you while you focus on more important things. Of course, that doesn't necessarily work in a love reading, because maybe these things are maybe they aren't very tangible. Maybe this is just pressure that's like, oh, I want to evolve in this direction or that direction, and oh, I'm manifesting this or that. That's not really something you can put on anyone else's plate, which is why I always find it very important to point out that it's not like you're about to give up. Not in the Nine of Wands or the Ten of Wands. You are still doing it, and you are still moving forward, and you're heading toward the finalization of the one's journey. And I understand if it's overwhelming. I understand, especially like if you've been doing this for a long time, like we've discussed, like ever since the past energy here, you've been manifesting and you're still waiting for the results. And you're still manifesting and you're still waiting for the results of that. But now, in your outside influence, you have Temperance. And Temperance is divine timing. This is one of the fate cards, saying that things kind of happen for a reason. And like, oh, well, you're in this situation to learn something. Like with the Wheel of Fortune puts us in situations that we can learn something from and grow as people. And Temperance is talked about divine timing, that it's happening now because of fate. And it also talks about harmony, inner peace, patience. And I would want to link this card immediately to the Three of Wands, to the Ten of Wands, to the Nine of Wands, where you have been working hard and you've been doing it for what seems like quite a while. But then Temperance is here saying like, I know it's taken a while, but maybe it's taken a while for a reason. And people don't necessarily like being told to be patient. Like, patience can be a very difficult thing sometimes. But I feel like this is kind of saying like, there will be results, but just not yet. It's just be a bit more, just a tiny bit more. And like I said, exercising patience is not fun always. Like, some things you don't want to be patient for, but you've been doing this for a very long time. You're almost at the end. And Temperance is kind of coming in saying like, it's going to be just a tiny while longer. And I mean, personally, I'm not a huge fan of Temperance because I'm not a very patient person. It's very difficult for me to just be patient. The circumstances need to be quite specific for me to kind of just accept that something's going to take a while, and I can't do anything to like fix that or to change that in any way, the time frame. But I think Temperance makes like perfect sense. I feels like Temperance is the card saying like, hey man, we know kind of what you're asking or what you're doing, but like we said, patience is a virtue, and it's about this harmony. It's also about moderation. like moderation in all things. And then we move on to what I mentioned earlier, the King of Wands in the hopes and fears position. And I do feel like the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands are kind of interchangeable here. I feel like they might be the end result, because any of you like, okay, you've been manifesting for a long time. Since the past, you've been manifesting. You're maybe getting frustrated. Maybe you haven't seen any returns yet. The Three of Wands saying, hold on. The Temperance card saying, hold on. And then the potential result of this is like the Knight of Wands in the future, which I feel like is kind of where you want to go. Like, come back to yourself and be very much in your own energy and like in yourself. That's what I feel it is. And the King of Wands being in the hopes and fears position, it feels like the same kind of thing. Like, this is what you're manifesting. This is what you're hoping for. This is kind of the goal, right? So I would say, yes, that the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands are kind of interchangeable. They're kind of representing each other in this poll. And what is the outcome? The Sun, which just is quite amazing. Like, you can't really beat the Sun when it comes to like potential, positivity, happiness, clarity, enlightenment. Like, it just lights up everything. You see everything for what it is, and you see what you have, and you see the paths, and there is this just like joy to this card, right? And I think that's like part of the result of whatever it is you're manifesting here. And it kind of like, it's such an innocent, just happy, lovey card. And I do feel like it's a very great result, and therefore start of something new here with your manifesting that you've been doing for a while. For a while. Don't want to sound so flippant about it. It looks like you've been doing it for quite a while at the least. But I want to move on to your Oracle cards, because I feel like both of them speak to one card, and I think one of them speaks to at least two cards. So the first Oracle card you got, which is from the Oracle of E, is number 48, Sticky Wicket. And it says, proceed with caution. It's a delicate situation, but that doesn't mean there's any real danger. Just a reminder that it's time to pause, to reflect, to appreciate all you have now and all you're about to receive. So actually reading that, I changed my mind. I think both cards speak to two cards. I think Sticky Wicket speaks to the Three of Wands and Temperance, where it is this, like, you are now in this situation or the kind of energy where with the Three of Wands you're kind of waiting. Like, it's okay to pause, take a break and like reflect and like, this is where I am. This is what I'm going to receive when these ships come back to me with the Three of Wands. And then also Temperance backing this up as well, like with the waiting and being a bit patient at this moment. And I want to reiterate once again, I understand that the patience aspect of the Temperance card can be very difficult, especially if you're like fire energy and you just want things to happen, like, let's go. Maybe not so much with the Sagittarians, I'm not sure, like, you tell me, but you've always felt really laid back to me. So maybe you're not having that same kind of frustration in the face of it. But like I said, Sticky Wicket, Three of Wands and Temperance, that's essentially what that is to me. And your second Oracle card from the Wisdom of the Oracle is number 51, Milk and Honey. And the essential meanings are the taste of prosperity, opportunity spawn of authenticity, nurturing abundance, trusting that your needs will be met. So the Milk and Honey card speaks to the Three of Wands and the Sun to me. That, it is this like great potential with the Sun. It talks about this abundance and prosperity, and yes, I do think the Sun brings a lot of opportunities. You can see your paths more clearly. And then the Three of Wands, like trusting that your needs will be met, that you have sent out those ships and you know that they're returning and you can kind of expect what's on them. You can kind of expect the result. And yes, you do have to wait for them to get there so you can take the next step, but they are coming. And I think like these two Oracle cards work really well with what the cards are trying to say to you already. Like, they very much back up the messages of the Three of Wands, Temperance and the Sun, I think. So it's not been easy, but you're getting there, is kind of what I'm saying, I guess. Like, it's not been easy, you've been doing it for a long time, but you're getting there. and it might feel very overwhelming, and maybe you're even doubting what you're doing, but you are still putting in the work, you are still doing it, and sometimes you just can't work on things. Sometimes you just have to let things happen as well, and what all these things lead up to is like the Knight of Wands energy in the future, which, coming home to yourself, and then this positivity, happiness, enlightenment of the sun in the future. In the outcome, rather. So there we are. That was your reading for November. The energies were pretty tough in some regards this time around. I did my best with all of your readings, but sometimes it just doesn't come together without a struggle, Before I go, I'd like to wish you a happy Halloween once again, and remind you that if you want to contact me about a personal reading or check out the decks I use, the information is in the description box below. I'd also like to thank all of you for watching and supporting me. I do read all your comments and reply to as many as I'm able to. Once again, thank you and happy Halloween.